Hello, dear friends. How are you? This is Kapil Sharma, your physics teacher, uh, and I will take you to on the journey on sitting in the train of physics for the coming 2 years and explore the wide knowledge that is imparted on us by various scientists, ranging from 16th century to right now, the 21st century. And this is going to be the introduction lecture of physics, uh, also in tune with the very first chapter of NCRT, that is nature and scope of physics. The chapter is not intended for a formal learning. That means you don't have to learn anything from that chapter, but it gives you a real introduction of what is coming into your way in the coming 2 years. So, welcome all the students, all my friends. Let us start with the first slide. Okay, what exactly was physics? What exactly is physics? Physics is, in ancient times, it was known by the name of natural philosophy. Philosophy, and it was very clear that physics did not start as a science, it started as a philosophy. And what was the purpose of that philosophy, natural philosophy? That was to study the nature, the various phenomena that occur in nature. Now also we study the nature ranging from the tiniest object, the smallest object, that is quarks, to the largest object that we know, that is our universe. We study electron, the smallest one, to the solar system, that's a bigger one. Still, if you go in some very old universities, they don't have any department of physics. They still call it the department of natural philosophy. Okay. One more thing, when you actually study the books, you will see that there is a father of chemistry, there is a father of modern biology. Physics is not supposed to have any mother or father. इस तरह से देखा जाए तो फिजिक्स एक अनाथ सब्जेक्ट है. Okay, let us move on to another slide. What is to be learned? Okay, this is the smallest thing which we know. The size is 10 to the power minus 14 meters. What are these? These are quarks. Then coming to this, size 10 to the power minus 10 meters. What are these? These are atoms, molecules. Then the size of human being, which is given in meters. The size of planets, that is 10 to the power 7 meters. The size of solar system, the size of sun, that is 10 to the power 11 meters. And the size of universe, no one actually knows the size of universe. We can just estimate it to be 10 to the power 26 meters. Okay, so we study from the smallest thing which is known to us to the biggest thing that is known to us. Physics includes all, smallest to the biggest. Okay. Next slide is this. Now, physics is a very complex subject. It is not a single subject, but it's a combination of various things. And to reduce its complexity, we divide it into various branches. So, the first and foremost, the oldest branch of physics, number one, is classical mechanics, the study of motion. You have done this a little bit in class 9th. Motion, laws of motion, equations of motion. Okay. Number two is thermodynamics, which is a study of heat, how heat is produced, how is heat transferred, this and that. Number three, optics. Optics you have studied in class 10th, concave convex mirrors, concave convex lenses, prisms, light, reflection, refraction, all these things. So you got an introduction of this in class 10th. You will have more learning on the topic of optics in class 12th. Then modern physics. This is the branch of physics that was discovered after the year 1950. So whatever is discovered after 1950, that is to be included in modern physics. Okay, the last one, electromagnetism. You have studied electromagnetism also in class 10th. The basics of electric current, the basics of magnetism, magnets, magnetic lines of force, this and that. So these 5 things you are going to learn in the coming 2 years. Of course, there are many more branches of physics, astronomy, then more quantum mechanics, then many more. But in the coming 2 years, syllabus of class 11th and 12th, these 5 will be the basic subjects, and in class 11th only the first 2 topics, and in class 12th the remaining 3: optics, modern physics, electromagnetism. In class 11th, classical mechanics and thermodynamics. Now this is how you are going to feel when you start studying physics. Sometimes you just feel like, oh my god, I'm just falling down. Nobody is helping except that tiny rope that is tied to me that can only save me. So physics is adventurous. Sometimes you feel like this: if you don't understand the laws, then this is the very complicated circuit. You may get lost in this. You will have to study hard, very hard, late nights, early mornings, this, that. This is how we apply physics, how we apply science in manufacturing. Okay, this, see how beautiful it is. It's a drop of water, but you will understand this beauty. You will be able to see that beauty once you get into it, get deep into it. Okay, and sometimes you're going to get shocked, the shock of your life. Oh, this thing is happening. Oh, I learned 2 plus 2 is 4. Now this teacher is telling me that 2 plus 2 is 3. Okay, he's also telling me 2 plus 2 is 0. Oh my god. So this is going to also give you the shock of your life. So these are the basic 6 pictures. Students sometimes feel like falling down, sometimes he feels the beauty, sometimes he feels shock. So this is the various stations that you will come across when you start your journey in the train of physics. Okay. Now, what exactly is physics? It is one of the most fundamental of all sciences. There are 3 fundamental sciences: physical science, chemical science, biological science. And scientists of all disciplines use the ideas of physics, including chemists who study the structure of molecules, planetologists who try to reconstruct how the dinosaurs walked, climatologists who study human activities and effect of atmosphere, and all these things. So whether you are studying whatever subject, you will have to use the basic principles of physics, so its study becomes essential. Physics is also the foundation of all the engineering and technology that is around us today. Now, no engineer could design a flat screen TV, an interplace spacecraft, or even a better mousetrap without first understanding the basic laws of physics. Okay. So what's next? Okay. One cannot even think of to understand the principles of physics without having the basic knowledge of mathematics. So this is what some students don't like. They don't like mathematics. Okay, physics is interesting, sir, but how to deal with the complex mathematical equations? No, there's no excuse. You have to go through. Some teachers, I have also heard, they quote that physics is actually application of mathematics. It is how you apply mathematics to dilute the other subjects for getting a better understanding of other subjects. Mathematics is a kind of raw subjects. You can apply it anywhere. But I have seen it is maximum applied in 2 things. It is applied in physics and in statistics. Sometimes the students, they just get confused, they get jumbled when it especially comes to solving of numerical part. But that is the real beauty of the subject. Even you can master physics if you are in love with it. You can enjoy studying, working on the subject, and once you start it, the subject pulls you inside it. Okay. I promise, if you are able to reach the required level of concentration and interest in physics, you will find it the most interesting and the most challenging one. However, if you don't like it, cannot help because it is anyhow the compulsory subject, so you have to study it whether you like it or not. Okay, this is something I'm going to tell you about some my bad experience. Once I was interacting with some students, and she told me that, so I just hate physics. But she said, I love to surf the internet. I love to ride my scooty on high speed. Love to chat on the phone. So I said that it is all a part of physics. Without physics, you cannot surf on your phone. You cannot have internet. You cannot have the engine of your scooter. So basically, yeah, I told her that it is not the physics she was hating. It was the study of physics that she was hating. Okay, let's leave it here. Okay. Now see, various subjects have various requirements. When you study a particular subject, you have to have something which is required for that subject. Now, what is the requirement of physics? Physics demands reading as it is a theoretical subject. It requires practice as it is a mathematical subject. Plus, it requires thought. It requires you to think because it is philosophy. So, the basic three things: reading, practice, and thinking. Okay, now, uh, what are the types of forces? Forces, we all know what forces are. Forces is something which tries to change the present state of anything. Suppose if you want to change anything's present state, if I want to change your present state, I have to apply some force, whether directly or through the internet, whether in the classroom or in the video lecture. Okay. So, what are the forces that exist in nature? Basically, there are only four forces. Whatever other forces you see, they are in disguise one of these four forces. The first one, very simple to understand, gravitational force. You studied it a little bit in class 9th. Then is the electromagnetic force that you studied in class 10th. You used to have Fleming's right hand rule and left hand rule. Okay, that rules were used to find the direction of force. So first one, gravitational force. Number two, electromagnetic force. Number three and number four, you haven't studied. Why you haven't studied? Because they are very small scale forces. You will see this last two forces, strong force and weak force, only inside the nucleus. Okay. Okay. So what next? Prerequisite. What you are supposed to be having in you before you start the physics of class 11th. The first thing is basic knowledge of mathematics. It's only I'm talking to you the basic knowledge of mathematics. What comes into the basic knowledge of mathematics? It's basically algebra and a little bit of trigonometry. That was already taught to you in class 10th, so you are not very thorough with it. At least if you understand the basic principles of that mathematics, it's fine. Okay, and some of the mathematics you will be required that is beyond class 10th, that was not taught to you in class 10th, that will be taught to you in class 11th and class 12th. So the basic knowledge is required, not much, only the basic knowledge. So you don't have to worry about it. Every teacher takes care of this basic mathematics before he or she actually starts teaching physics. Number two, the basic knowledge of science of class 10th. This is the science of class 10th, which has created a kind of interest. Okay, so if that interest is pulling you, you are already having the basic knowledge of class 10th. Okay, no need to worry. Books. What is a book? It's a collection of pages binded between two hardbounds. Now, a book is an essential part of learning anything. Anything means anything. Even a religion, every religion in the world having its own book, and the follower is required to follow that book and adapt its teachings. Hindus, the book is Gita. For Islam, the book is Quran. For Christians, The book is Bible. For the Sikhs, it is Guru Granth Sahib. So every religion is having a book, every subject is having a book. But what about us? What about this? Which books are required to study the religion or the subject of physics? Let us see the list. The number one thing is the NCERT book. This is going to be your Bible. Okay, then if you want, you can have the reference book, which could be any one of the New Simplified Physics by S.L. Arora, Pradeep's Physics written by Gumbar and Gogia, Modern ABC of Physics by Mr. Gupta, or any other good reference book which is approved and recommended by some good physics teacher. That will be enough. Okay, now in the beginning, NCERT book will be more than enough. NCERT book is more than enough. The only problem with the NCERT book is that the English is too tough. The next thing is the next problem with the NCERT book is that they are not explaining clearly the mathematics. So if you are very good at mathematics, NCERT book is more than enough. But if you are a little weak, then you must have a reference book with you. Okay, get any one of these books if you really want to jump deep into the subject. You can get it from the market, or even you can borrow from the seniors or your big bhaiya and didi who have already studied this. Borrow them, no problem. The print should be not earlier than 2014, 2013. Okay, any book printed after that will be more than sufficient, more than sufficient. Okay, now there are some students, there are some cases which are not satisfied with the basic learning of physics. NCERT and reference books, these are not simply sufficient for them. They want to learn some advanced tools of physics. So for them there are certain more books. The first book and the most popular book in our country, that is Concepts of Physics by H.C. Verma. Everyone knows this book, but I really tell you, it's very tough. It's very beautiful also, and you must have this Concepts of Physics book if you want to really learn the advanced level physics. But believe me, without any of these books, you can still score more than 90%, 95% in the board examination, in class 11th examination. Because these books are meant only for the advanced learners and those who really want to crack some examination, or those who really want to study physics at higher level. Okay. Then comes to Resnick Halliday, Fundamentals of Physics. This book is declared as the Bible of Physics worldwide. Okay, then Numerical Physics, Anurag Mishra, Cengage Physics, B.M. Sharma, Numerical Physics, D.C. Pandey, then Questions in Physics, G.C. Agrawal, Objective Physics. There are many more books you will find in the market. But get only those books which are recommended by your teacher, or recommended by anything else, somebody else. But there is definitely one advantage. The book which your teacher is referring, if you refer the same book, then your revision work will become faster, because you are following the same books. There will be less confusion. There will be more of the cooperation. You will cooperate with your learning. Okay. So these advanced level learning books are not necessary now. Now what is required is simply number one, NCERT textbook. And let me tell you from which book basically I am teaching, which examples I am quoting. That is this one, New Simplified Physics by S.L. Arora. Okay, it's not compulsory. If you have any one of the other books, it is more than sufficient. Okay, friends, this is enough for today. In the next lecture, we will start with the very basic, the fundamentals of physics. Thank you very much.